Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
I don't know why that's playing. Hello. I got the music in the background. Thank you, Gigi, if you could turn that music off, or Mikey. All right. Welcome to Friday training. On Thursday, we are in Florida. If you are here, we're doing a meetup at the West Palm Marriott at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come and join us there. Today's training will be available to everybody. Just email me the exercises and guides and book david@dmeltzer.com. We are excited about being on tour with Andrew Cordell, Eddie Wilson, with Aspire, with our yep.
I think this is a glitch on our side. Okay. Let's leave and come
back. All
right,
I'm gonna leave and come back online. Give me 2 seconds. All right, we got the music off. We are rocking and rolling. I want to thank everybody today for joining us on the relativity of the present. We've been training from my book that's launching at Super Bowl, which you can come and join us at. Don't Do Business with Dicks. If you'd like, though, the exercises and guides from today's training, the relativity of the present, the meaning of the present, please email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want to be informed and invited to all the cool stuff that we're doing here in Florida, meetup, holding court, interviews, speeches, all today here. Come and meet us in West Palm Beach, 1:30 at the Marriott, West Palm Marriott. Tomorrow, I'll be with Marshall Falk in San Diego. Come and join me there at noon as well. Email me or join our text community so you get the invitations and are informed. The text community number, 949-298-2905. Then we have the SoFi Mastermind, and then we're going down to North Carolina. Hopefully meet Mr. Beast, but also the Aspire Business Tour. Come and see Mr. Wonderful, myself, Gary V, all the greats, Eddie Wilson and Andrew Cordell. Then we'll be at the Super Bowl, as I mentioned. Come and see us with the Players Impact on Radio Row, Sirius XM, Reach TV, Direct TV, and then to the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So if you want to join us, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. As we get right to it, we appreciate everybody's patience today, and we will go ahead and get started. Today's training is today's training is the relativity of the present, and so we'll get right to that. We live in a world that constantly pulls our attention backwards, and it pulls us backwards into regret and then forward into fear. Backwards into regret, forward into fear. We replay through our subconscious mind all the past decisions, wondering what we should have done, could have done, would have done, and we project into the future the imagining that everything that could go wrong would go wrong. Meanwhile, the only place we actually have any power is right here, right now. And most people drift through life ignoring that power. Many of us learned the hard way, paid the dummy tax when we hit the setbacks, failures, mistakes, defining moments, historical relevances, even successes, as we face the unexpected. Unexpected losses, but also unexpected evidence or unexpected success. And we wake up one day and realize that we're laying flat on the mat, interfering with the emotional infiniteness of our being, our financial infinite, and our spiritual infinite. We wonder how we got here and how we'll ever get back up. As we look up, we can get up. But that's where the real lessons begin, because the comeback doesn't happen in the past, and it certainly doesn't happen in the future. It starts the moment we decide to be present again and live in the human experience of no evidence and evidence contrary to where we want to be. When we live in the present again, these lessons are grounded in that truth. They remind us that our suffering comes from time traveling, that planning should be building, not interfering or paralyzing our actions, and that trust, faith, must energize today with the infinite amount of energy and infinite amount of intelligence, intuition, and inspiration. We must energize today rather than excuse it in blame, shame, and justification. Our past shows us that our learning is not living, that our commitment outweighs our circumstances. It outweighs the evidence of today to get to where we want to be in the future, or even better, and that our future is built in those micro moments of now. When we learn to stay where our feet are, we are better. We lead better, perform better, and live better. The present becomes our competitive advantage in the linear time that we exist, our competitive advantage in the human experience in our lives. We must understand the relativity of the present in order to brighten our future, better our future. The first lesson, as I mentioned, all of the lessons, exercises, and guides, this training is available for free. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The first lesson in the relativity of the present and being present, having this competitive advantage, is we stop suffering when we stop time traveling. We interfere with our energy when our minds get stuck in the past, the failures, mistakes, the setbacks, defining moments, historical relevances, or even successes that have a meaning or a relativity to our future that is not aligned where we want to be. It's aligned with a spiraling effect that causes us to spiraling into the future because of the meaning or relativity that we give to the past when we time travel and suffer through that travel. We suffer with regret interfering with where we want to be, and guilt and resentment and separation and anxiety and worry that interferes with. It steals the not only attention, but the intention of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe. And it kills our devotion, the discipline of the enjoyment of the consistent, persistent, everyday pursuit of that potential, that future potential that we desire right now. When we lose everything financially, which personally has happened to me, we don't suffer because of the financial loss. We suffer because of our minds that replay the old mistakes and the imagined catastrophic future. If we don't change the meaning of our past, we will never increase our image, our self-image and imagination to a brighter, better future. Because the meaning that you give the past in this time travel will limit your future. You will never overachieve your self-image or your imagination, and your children won't either. So we can't replay the old mistakes. We have to use gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons, and forgiveness for those mistakes, and accountability to learn more lessons from those mistakes, to live in spirit, to clear the interference, to shorten the distance of resistance in that struggle, because every struggle already has a solution in it. It's just a lapse of time before you see the resolution, the resolution to that suffering, to that problem. We cannot perform from our past. We cannot perform from our future. We stop suffering when we stop time traveling to the past or the future. We can only think, do, say, believe, feel, decide, or co-create or command the universe and lead from where our feet are, where we are now, even if the evidence is not present in the present, even if the evidence is contrary to where we want to be in the present. We need to notice when our mind is in the backward movement or the forward mode. And we need to stop, change the meaning of the past to align with the future that we desire, a better, brighter future, through gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability, to live in spirit, shortening the distance of resistance through the wisdom and the faith of the relativity of the past, the relativity of the present, aligned that relativity with the future. We need to stop. When we're going backwards or forwards, we need to stop. We need to interrupt that loop and ask ourselves, where do I want to be? What do I want to have? Who can I help? Who can help me? And how can I get that done? And reprioritize, pre-prioritize, post-prioritize our future. Let's re-anchor in the now. Let's re-anchor into the now. Let's do it now, because 100% of the things you do now get done. The 100% of the things you do next get done. It is a matter of prioritizing what's important to you, because prioritization of the now is the antidote to the two things that are interfering with your success the most, which is feeling overwhelmed or procrastinating. It is impossible to feel overwhelmed or procrastinate while you're doing it now or doing it next. If you like the guide or exercises today, especially lesson number 1, we stop suffering when we stop time traveling, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 2, our planning should build our future, not interfere or paralyze us from it. If you want to make God laugh, come up with a well-developed plan, but a plan is necessary to deal with the non-negotiable behaviors each day and help us prioritize the negotiable behaviors. It is the strategic foresight that is essential, but obsessive forecasting becomes paralysis via analysis. And I promise you that worrying is a double negative. Not only does it give us no ROI, but it's wishing for what we don't want. It's an interfering thought that will not build, but will paralyze. We've worked with founders so many times who raise capital and immediately, when they reach where they thought they wanted to be or better, they lose sleep about the next round. They aren't failing because they aren't worrying. They're failing because worrying replaces execution. Worrying for what you don't want, for what you do want. Worrying is a double negative. It interferes with your execution and it's wishing for what you don't want. If you don't believe me, remember when you were in school and you were worried about a certain topic subject matter to being on a test, and you're guaranteed it'll be the first question on that test. When we plan for the future with non-negotiable behavior and learn in that plan to know what we want, who we can help and who can help us, and how to get that done and prioritize accordingly, we build in the present, not for the future. We build in the present and stay out of the paralysis of analysis, because analyzation and analytics and logic will not overcome emotion, the energy in motion, and which is most beneficial in commanding what you desire better in the universe. Strategy without action, without doing it now, without execution, is just imagination. And if we don't live in the present, in that imagination, expanding, growing, accelerating that imagination, that self-image, we will never achieve better. We want to make sure that we work within the daily context, the God-given guarantee of 24 hours a day that he has given us. Except for the last day of our life, he will cheat us. We want to make sure that we separate each 24 hours with 12 hours of non-negotiable behavior, things like your sleep, your health, your family, your faith, your finance, the study of time, and the study of relativity, especially the relativity of that present according to the circumstances of the day, that set forth a framework of prioritization, the antidote to feeling overwhelmed and procrastination for the day, of what to do according to the circumstances, whether the mortgages, the arguments, the tardiness, whatever it may be. When we collect present input before future predictions, our relationships, our family, friends, customers, associates, channel partners, become greater than the hypotheticals. We could actually use quantitative data based on time, not subjective matter of anxiety, fear, worry, resentment, guilt, separation, inferiority, superiority, etc. And this should guide us in the non-negotiable circumstantial behavior according to the 24-hour periods, these short daily cycles that can have milestones of weeks, months, and years. Those milestones for me are just a stopping point of analysis of the quantitative data of two things in my life that I want to know, whether it be the new year, my birthday, Valentine's Day, the Super Bowl, whatever it may be. I want to know how much time am I interfering with my potential, and how much money have I saved? If I can reduce the amount of time that I spend interfering with my potential and increase the money I save per every milestone without setting resolutions that are arbitrary, capricious, and hard to attach emotions to, only to create resistance, we shorten that distance of resistance with the wisdom and the faith of 2 quantitative analyses of these milestones of simply, how much time am I spending interfering with my potential? And 2, how much money have I saved? Our planning should be building the present, not paralyzing it. Stop interfering with what is already there. If you like the exercises and guides from today, particularly lesson number 2 as well, David at dmeltzer.com. David means beloved. At D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. David at dmeltzer.com. Let me be your beloved servant and provide you the exercises and guides and books for free. David at dmeltzer.com. The third lesson in the relativity of the present. Our faith, our trust must inspire our action, not excuse it with blame, shame, and justification with inaction. When we say it will all work out, we also must clarify whether that statement is fueling today's moves, actions, or is it an excuse to avoid them, to blame the past and to live in shame and to justify why I'm not where I want to be or better. A lot of times it leads us to be what I call extra milers instead of empty milers. Extra milers, they go the extra mile every once in a while, and then they use that to excuse themselves for blame, shame, justification of why they are not where they want to be or better. Where the empty miler, with wisdom and faith, shortening the distance of resistance, are inspired to take action each and every day, prioritizing them either as non-negotiable, so the circumstances of each day don't matter, or prioritize them according to the circumstances of each day. So many leaders in business believe the future recovery they believe in recovering in the future while working diligently today is using wisdom and faith in the correct manner. A leader who waits for the market to correct itself is not living in the wisdom and faith, is using blame, shame, and justification as inaction. Real wisdom, real faith, real trust will tell you we believe tomorrow will bring our resolutions, because in every problem today exists the solution. It's just a lapse of time, tomorrow, the next day, or so on, that will find the resolution, the resolution to the problem that exists today. So that allows us to act today with a comfortable, confident ease that everything will happen at its divine time, in its divine direction, with devotional behavior, which is the combination of discipline, attention, plus intention of doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing, that will equal not just the confidence, but the coincidence, the coinciding of what you desire or better. Use wisdom and faith to accelerate, aggregate, and compound exponentially the outcomes that you desire. It will never be used to delay or interfere with your potential. It is aligned with your divine direction of where you wish you want to be or better. We need to identify what we can control right now, which are the non-negotiable behaviors, any behavior that you can execute on, regardless of circumstances of the day, is your control. That comes through gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability. What did I do to be responsible? What did I do to attract this? What did I do to participate in this perception? And what am I supposed to learn from it? We take the smallest winnable steps each and every day. We stack the W's, and if one of our non-negotiables doesn't happen, we never stack the losses. We simply stack the wins. We double down on the simple things to do because they're simple not to do. We double down on any losses from the day before so that we don't create a habit or a behavior from those losses. If you like the exercises and guides, just email the beloved servant, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 3 in particular, our wisdom and faith, our trust will inspire action. It will not excuse with blame, shame, and justification the inaction that resists the relativity of our present. Lesson number 4, our past is for learning. Life is about learning. Our past will provide us the lessons. We are here to learn lessons. The lessons keep on coming until we learn. So in other words, our past is here for learning, not living, but the lessons are that which allows us to be alive. We waste massive bandwidth replaying our highlight reels, or even worse, our low light reels. Both make us spectators of our own lives instead of participants. But even worse, social media makes so many of us, the drifters, spectators of other people's lives instead of participating in their own. I've seen so many athletes who I work with and executives, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities who cling on to their past trophies and awards, but they're all alone in their trophy room. So many founders who cling on to their past failures, and they're all alone in their offices. Both or all of these individuals are stuck in identities of the past that no longer serve them in their divine direction, interfering with their devotion to get to where they want to be or better. The past is for lessons. The lessons keep on coming until we learn them. The past is a lesson. It's not a location. The past is a lesson, not a location, and we revisit it for information. What are we going to inform ourselves of to allow us to accelerate, aggregate, and compound our future? It's not there for validation, and it's certainly not there for punishment. It's there for protection and promotion, love and perfection. All we need to do is have wisdom and faith of the past and aligned with the divine direction of our future by being present and executing and learning on those lessons. We revisit it for information, not validation, and certainly not punishment. Only protection, promotion, love, and perfection. So we need to extract the lessons from the past. Our past is for learning, not for living in it. We need to extract these lessons because life's about these lessons and they keep on coming until we learn them. And then we need to apply our why with these lessons to the present by doing it now and doing it next and learning again and making that our past and giving us even more lessons, more acceleration, aggregation, and compounding of outcomes. Close the tab on the past and return it to the now by extracting the lessons and applying it to the present, applying our why to that present by doing it now and doing it next. Live life to its fullest. Stop being a spectator. Don't be alone in your trophy room or in your office. Don't get stuck in an identity that doesn't serve you. Participate in your human experience. From the time the heart starts till it stops, each and every day, guarantee of 24 hours a day, use non-negotiable behavior and get better at prioritizing what's important to you in the circumstances of the day, regardless of the evidence. Because the evidence may be contrary to where you want to be today, but it's contrary only because you don't understand it and haven't learned the lessons of why it's promoting you, protecting you, loving and perfecting you, not punishing you. Our past is for learning. Do not live in the past. If you like the exercises and guides today for the relativity of the present, with lesson number 4, our past is for learning, not for living in the past, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 5, our commitment, our commandment outweighs our circumstances all day long. This is devotion. This is the combination of discipline, attention, plus intention of what we do, say, think, feel, and be in alignment with where we want to be or better. You see, the differentiator in life is rarely the talent. The skills, the knowledge, that just sets your basement, but it's the delta that is the differentiator. And it's the consistency of enjoying it persistently without quit in the pursuit of your potential, showing up every day as a non-negotiable behavior in the present, even when the results are uncertain, even when the evidence is not available or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be. We consistently are showing up in the present because our commitment, our commandment, working with the universe outweighs the circumstances each and every day in the 24-hour guarantee that God gives you, except for the last day of your life, which you will be cheated. I've watched so many young athletes get rejected. So many salespeople, executives, personal relationships get rejected. I train these people every day to return and to win. I've also seen so many talented people and players and entrepreneurs and executives sabotage themselves by dreaming about successes, endorsements, wins, account balances, exits, focusing in and attaching their emotions to an outcome, telling themselves, I will be happy when, instead of saying, for the sake of what am I practicing today? Am I progressing today, regardless of the evidence of today? Our future is built on our present deposits. The present deposits that we have are the behaviors and activities that we have. It's what we are devotional about, what we are disciplined about, what we pay attention to, and what we give intention to, what we do, say, think, feel, and believe in alignment with where we want to be or better. Of those coincidences, the coinciding of our practice of today, because our future is built on our present deposits of our behaviors, aligned with the divine direction. We cannot withdraw success from these deposits. We cannot withdraw success from this account if we're not funding it. And it's just a lapse of time, just like the resolution. It's just a lapse of time. And it's only wisdom and faith that will shorten the distance of resistance that's created within the context of that fine until we are where we want to be, or even better. Create your habit machine. I'll be happy to send you the habit machine of knowing your what, your who, your how, your now, and applying your why. I'll send you the habit machine so that you can have the non-negotiable daily reps and the negotiable system of prioritization so you're not overwhelmed or procrastinate, so you know what's important to you, and you can shorten that distance of resistance by utilizing habits over hype. It'll allow you to track the commandments, the commitments, not the outcomes. Milestones are not resolutions. Milestones are simply quantitatively a point in time in which you can analyze two quantitative things. How much time am I spending resisting? How much time am I spending interfering? Or how much money have I saved? Both very important parts of the human experience so that you can make a lot of money to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. When we track the commandments and commitments instead of the outcomes, we actually learn to celebrate consistency, not perfection. We learn to celebrate progress, not perfection. And you can only do this when your commitments, your commandments, working with the universe outweighs the circumstances, the uncertainty that's guaranteed every single day in the human experience. From the time your heart starts till it stops. If you would like the guides, the exercise, if you would like the habit machine to make your habits greater than your hype, if you would like the exercises and guides, the training of the relativity of the present, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Lesson number 6. Our future is created in the micro moments. Those are the deposits, the micro moments aligned with the divine direction that we want to be or better, aligned with what we are devotional about, which is the discipline of doing it every single day and enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of paying attention to it and giving intention of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe. So many of us romanticize these breakthroughs, but we overlook the small behaviors that forge them. People laugh at you, scoff at you, and make fun of you for these micro moments, for these small behaviors. Why do you do that every day? Why are you doing that? Who do you think you are? What do you think you are? Why do you think you are? But success, wellness, resilience, and leadership are built in increments, not events. If anything proved that to you, it should have been the Indiana University victory of the national champion from worst to first. That success, that resilience, that leadership came from the coach building that team in increments, not in winning the Rose Bowl, the Georgia Bowl, not by winning the Big Ten, but simply by showing up every single day with small behaviors that surely created breakthroughs without romanticizing it. Wisdom and faith shortened the distance of resistance that was in existence for the Hoosiers. When we're lying in bed, bankrupt and ashamed, as I was, watching my favorite movie, Rocky, I didn't need to win the entire fight, and nor did Rocky. I just needed to get up. And I told myself, if I can look up, I can get up. And looking up was that first micro moment of my comeback, of living a life where I make more money, help more people, and have more fun than I ever dreamed of. A micro moment of simply looking up so I can get up, enjoying what I don't like or love about what I love in so many aspects of my life, to get up each and every day with people laughing at you, scoffing at you, and making fun of you. Each of these micro moments creating a deposit into my future comeback that exists today, and I continue. Even though I'm where I want to be or better, I now have a new divine direction of where I want to be or better to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Still forging them with small behaviors in a consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential. Come join me. Join our group, our neighborhood, our frequency. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Get invited and informed to the 200 cities we're in. Our neighborhood of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. Because I promise you, if you can look up, you can get up. And if we get up today, we can build a brighter, better tomorrow. Just take your divine direction, your devotional behavior, and divide them into tiny present actions, these micro moments that will create your future or even better. Make a trade. Trade your worrying for doing. Create a double positive and take away a double negative. We can build momentum through repetition by enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your potential. You can build that momentum through repetition. If you'd like the guide or exercise for today's training, Relativity of the Present, just email me. It'll change the past, the present, and the future. Learning that we must stop suffering when we stop time traveling. Are you living in the past or living in the future? Or are you executing in the present? Remembering these plans should build, not paralyze or interfere with us. Also, that our wisdom and faith will inspire action, not excuse with blame, shame, justification, the inaction, the paralysis, and analysis and feeling of overwhelmness. Get the habit machine from me, david@dmeltzer.com. Learn that our past is only for the lessons, and life is about lessons. Our past isn't about living. The lessons are about living because the lessons will keep on coming until we learn them. That's what life's about. Understand our commandment, working with command. Our commandment and commitment will outweigh the evidence of today, the circumstances, the uncertainty of the day, knowing that our future is built on present deposits and you can't withdraw from that account if you're not funding it. And finally, the micro moments. Know that the future is created by those micro moments. As simple as if I can look up, I can get up. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing: growth, expansion, fulfillment, acceleration, aggregation, peace, ease, momentum, and impact. But none of these outcomes live in yesterday, and certainly none of them wait in tomorrow. They're built in the small, often overlooked decisions, actions, reactions, responses, resolutions that we make today. Not at New Year's, not at your birthday, not at Valentine's Day, not the Super Bowl, but today. Our comeback doesn't start when everything is fixed. It starts when we look up, when we get up, when we choose to be here now with what we have, who we are, and what we can control today, with non-negotiable behavior in our pre-prioritization, prioritization, and post-prioritization of circumstances today. That is the power of the presence today. That is how we redefine our story today, how the relativity of the past is simply a meaning that we align with today and our future of where we want to be or better. And that is how we become the person that we want to become. Our future is waiting for that person to elevate its awareness into the universe as coincidences will provide. Being present is not just a mindset, it's a muscle. It's a skill and a knowledge that we can train, we can practice, we can improve. It is a lens that transforms how we lead, how we perform, and how we live. When we learn to stay where our feet are, present, that is when we become unstoppable. Because if we can look up, we can get up. And once we get up and create the meaning of the present, aligned with the past in our divine direction, everything will change. This has been our Friday training, The Relativity of the Present. That is chapter 6 in my new book launching at Super Bowl, Don't Do Business with Dicks, How to Ditch Toxicity and Align Yourself with Positive Influences. Pre-order it now. Email me if you like the exercises, guides, and training from today. If you'd like the habit machine, David@dmeltzer.com. David means beloved. D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. David@dmeltzer.com. Email your beloved servant. I'm here to be of service and of value to you. So is the Nick of Wam, the Well-Oiled Machine podcast, my fastest growing podcast, where we analyze time, the subtleties of success, the tips, the tricks of how to live with passion, purpose, and profitability. Nick of Wam, go ahead, reset the room, and let's answer some questions. What do you say?
Absolutely, and want to thank you, David, for an incredible first half of what is today's training. And of course, now as we shift to what is the second half, I want to encourage everybody not only to invite any of their friends, family, colleagues, or anybody that may have a question for David today, or get great value from today's training, which is the relativity of the present. But if you are also joining us, of course, if you are online, please go ahead and put your questions for David today into the chat. And if you are live here in the Breakfast with Champions, the greatest community on Clubhouse, and you have a question for David today, if you are in the audience, please just use the hand icon to request to join the stage. And of course, we will bring you up. And if you are already on stage and have a question for David today, please just put a quick note in the room chat, and I will be happy to pass it over your way. Now, with that said, David, for this next 20 minutes of Q&A, I want to go ahead and get us started as we have Bradford, who actually put his question into the chat, but we were lucky enough to get him up here on stage. So, Bradford, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and kick us off with the first question of the day?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the trainings in the past, but mostly for today. You got me fired up for today. I don't know how many times you said it, but I'm appreciating that. Yeah, so I'm curious, I see a pattern of a lot of successful people sharing their past, and like the biggest thing being like their downfalls. So my question is like, how important is it to share your past? And why are people so intrigued by the worst of your life,
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, I think what's being shared is the lessons of the past. But there are some people that feel comfortable in knowing that successful people have failed, that successful people struggle, that the vulnerability and humility exists within all people, and that it is inspiring for those people when they share the lessons from the failures, mistakes, setbacks, defining moments, and historical relevances of their past. And so I think it's important because life, as mentioned before, is about lessons. And those lessons keep on coming until we learn them. There's a tax that needs to be paid from these lessons, and it's the most expensive tax in the world. So many people are worried about, of course, federal tax, state tax, local tax, luxury tax, capital gains tax, whatever it may be. But the tax that's most ignored, and the reason that people love to learn about other people's past failures, successes, defining moments, setbacks, mistakes, is that the dummy tax is the most expensive tax. You see, the dummy tax will cost you everything you ever had, and it'll cost you everything you will have. And so if we can learn and have somebody else pay for the dummy tax by sharing their past, if we can allow other people to pay the dummy tax so that we don't have to, there's not only an emotional connection to the vulnerability and humility that exists in sharing our past mistakes, setbacks, failures, etc., but there's a quantitative value of the lessons that are learned so that we don't have to make the same mistakes. Because life is about lessons, and the lessons will keep on coming until we learn them. And if we can learn it from somebody else losing over $100 million, somebody else having an accident, somebody else going bankrupt, somebody else losing their marriage, whatever it may be, addiction, that is why so many people are attracted to and enjoy sharing their past so that other people don't have to pay the dummy tax. What a great question, Brad. I really appreciate you always being on our trainings. If you would like any of the guides or exercises, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. We'd love to have you join our group as well. We meet on Mondays. I answer questions every single Monday and make personal introductions, but we have a network of thousands of people that help each other and know people that help each other. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Nick of Wam, we're in the fourth quarter already. We're not quite the Hoosiers, but it's feeling good to have the lead here in the fourth quarter. Who's coming up next?
Absolutely. It is time for the Meltzer double in terms of our next question. That's, of course, Eric Meltzer, kindred spirits, but not a family affiliation. Eric, my friend, happy Thursday. It was great having you with us for our dinner, community meetup, keynote speech, holding court, and so much more in New York City over the past few days. Why don't you unmute yourself and keep us rolling with the next question?
Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much, Nick and Dave. Had a blast the last few days. So the question is, Dave, I need a little bit of kind repetition. So can you talk a little bit about how what being devotional means and how it is also tied to this idea of like time travel and using the past as a way to propel forward?
Yeah, no problem. And thank you. Everybody needs repetition. It takes 6 or 7 times just to sink in. So that's why consistency is so important. I will tell you, I got a great compliment as Eric came to our special VIP dinner there in New York City, and then to our holding court at the Edge Studios yesterday, and came to my speech as well. But several people asked me that is, Eric has the same last name as me, not blood related, but they asked me if he was my son, and what a compliment that was. So I just want to tell you, thank you, Eric, for hopefully taking it as a compliment. I certainly did. But more importantly, devotion. Devotion is the alignment of our discipline, which means we are going to be disciplined, but discipline isn't enough. So many people are disciplined in their work that they get so busy working 9 to 5, 4 to 4, 4 a.m. to midnight. They get so busy working, they forget to make money. See, devotion is when you are disciplined and you pay attention to what you desire and you give it your intention as well. So you're doing everything, saying everything, thinking everything, believing everything, and feeling everything aligned with making a lot of money, aligned with helping a lot of people, aligned with having a lot of fun. So you don't get so busy working that you don't make a lot of money, help a lot of people, or have a lot of fun, that you do it because it becomes devotional. It's discipline plus attention plus intention equal the coincidences, the coinciding of the universe with what you desire. Devotion is what allows us the divine direction by changing the meaning of the past. You don't have to time travel. You just have to learn the lessons of the past. You don't have to beat yourself up, punish yourself. You just have to learn from the past. People will laugh at you, scoff at you, and make fun of you no matter what. The people who love us most will laugh at you, scoff at you, make fun of you, give you negative feedback because they're afraid you're going to get hurt. So take it as a compliment. Give it the meaning that it deserves. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, honey. Thank you, sister, brother, that you care so much about me that you're going to give me bad advice to protect me from making mistakes, which is only going to limit me. You're going to protect me from losing, which is only going to strengthen me. But I do appreciate your advice. You're laughing, you're scoffing, you're making fun of me, your negative energy, the toxicity that's created from family and friends who are only afraid for you because they love you so much. Or maybe they're afraid for themselves that you may actually do it and challenge their own self-image. Living your best life is the best revenge. Living to your higher self is the highest form of activity. Stop time traveling into the past to punish yourself. Start utilizing the present to learn from the past and make it devotional in the divine direction for your future. All right, Eric, hopefully that gave you some clarity, some harmony in time travel and devotional behaviors in that time frame.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for the kind words. Just delighted. Thank you.
You got it, my friend. I will see you later. Thanks for joining us.
Beautiful. Now for our next question, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Chris, who has been patiently waiting. So Chris, always good to see you here, my friend. Why don't you unmute yourself and keep us going with the next question?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks, David. Thanks, Nick, for doing this free Friday training, and great lesson. If you can look up, you can get up. Discipline seems to be the theme of today, and you've talked about a lot of the daily disciplines. But if you had to strip it down to the one daily discipline that would like compound the most, which one would you pin it to be?
Sleep. So in the man-made construct of the human experience, time is the most essential thing, and the most disciplined habit or behavior that takes up the most time is sleep. Everybody knows that if you recover better, you'll perform better. Sleep is the best form of recovery. Everybody knows if you have higher awareness that things are easy. Sleep gives you the information and access to that information. It elevates your awareness more than anything. It will contribute to your health more than anything as well. It will impact your breathing. It will impact your movement. It will impact your nutrition. It will impact your water. The 5 things that keep your heart beating. There's no other thing that will have as much impact as far as a habit than being intentional, devotional about your sleep.
Amazing. Thank you.
You got it. I look forward to seeing you today. Thank you, my brother.
Beautiful. And thank you, Chris. And David, now it is time for what is your two favorite letters of the alphabet. That's, of course, GG. So, GG, my friend, always good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us and being so consistent and disciplined. Why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and keep us rolling with the next question?
Hello, happy Thursday, everyone. So, David, based on your last week training and this training, how do you make sure you don't get stuck into a story about yourself? Like when I ask you, like, I want people to know me as kind. You don't say I want people to know me as this, like an author, speaker. How did you get to that point? Because even with athletes or everything we do, we get trapped in that identifying ourselves with what we do.
Yeah. So what happened is in the paradigm shift of I am happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm worthy, and focusing primarily on what am I doing to interfere with it, to shorten the distance of resistance between, me and where I want to be, in that wisdom and faith that I desire to do so. I also take inventory of my capability. See, when you take inventory and identify with your capability, you stay away from being stuck in the past stories or identities. I was so caught up, Gigi, in my identity at one time in my life before I started down this path, this journey of wisdom and faith. I was so caught up in my identity that I identified with the amount of money that I made. I identified so strongly with the amount of money that I made that if my bank account, I was worth over $100 million. If my bank account went up $100, I was happy. If it went down $100, I was sad. That's how bad it was, how stuck I was in a story, an identity in my past. Today, I shorten the distance of resistance that I'm creating between me and what I already am to become even better and brighter. I take inventory of the capabilities that I have and align it with what's doing well, what's stable, and I think is doing well in the future. My identity is tied to my capability. So I am my capability. What am I doing to interfere with it? I am my potential. What am I doing to interfere with it? I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? And when you can shift the meaning of the past to capability instead of identity, knowing that labels only have one place, shampoo bottles. They don't belong on you. So work on identifying with your capability, because when you're capable of helping other people, you're at your highest self, which is the lesson of receiving. Because when we don't receive, we don't give somebody else the opportunity to be their higher self, to be closest to God, to be able and capable of helping somebody else. But we must identify with our own capabilities, align them with what's doing well, what's stable, and what we think is doing well to get to a divine direction, a divine place of our better self. Great questions today. Nick of Guam, what do you got going on?
Absolutely. We are in the last 6 minutes here of what is today's training, and I'm going to pass it over to Mike, who has been patiently waiting with the next question. So, Mike, happy Thursday here, my friend. It's always good to see you. Why don't you carry us on with the next question?
My guys, good morning. How we doing?
My guys, what's up, baby? We're going to do a meetup today. Come and meet us at West Palm Beach Marriott at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Always. Let's go.
Let's go.
Question is, as you said, being present is not just a mindset, it's a muscle. How do you teach that muscle, especially to your children, especially from their lack of past, to kind of draw experience from?
Yeah, so although they don't have a lot of experience to draw from, that we want to make sure they continue to draw from any lessons that they learn, because they're constantly learning. They're sponges. And so they're observing more, they're less in their way, they're less interfering. And so the habit machine is the most valuable thing for people of all ages, but especially children. If you look in the context of the conscious continuum, if you look in the context of the human experience, if you look at longevity itself, so many of the behaviors that we have when we're young allow us to have a more strength than future. And so when we make deposits young, the exponentiality is much, much greater. For example, I do a lot of work with my favorite wealth architect, Andrew Cordell. We've been doing so much more. And he had a vehicle for all of our kids where you put $7,000 a year tax free. It's going up to $7,500 a year tax free for each of your kids. By the time they're 65, if you put 7,000 or 7,500 in each and every year, that kid will have $48 million. Do you know how much work it takes to be able to leave your child $48 million tax free? The same thing with habits. If they deposit $7,000 worth of integrity, $7,000 worth of kindness, $7,000 worth of breathing, $7,000 worth of movement or nutrition or water or sleep, if they do that every day, they will have $48 million tax free of that behavior. But if they start at 18, it diminishes down to 12 million. And if they start at 36, it diminishes down to 6 million. Not bad, but not 48 million. And so it's essential that we teach our kids the habit machine, that we create great non-negotiable behaviors early on so that they get the doubling effect and the multitudes of that each and every period, accelerated in different variances according to the behaviors. But in essence, the rule of 72 applies to everything, especially behaviors. And so we want to make sure that we teach them that habit machine today, even though they don't have a lot of past. We're actually focusing in on the present so that the future is easy, not dis-easy. Does that sound fair?
More than fair. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Dave.
I appreciate you. All right, Nick, we're going to be here in West Palm Beach today at 1:30. We'll be in San Diego at noon with Marshall Falk tomorrow. We're in over 300 cities. We are way ahead of schedule this year. I can't even count how many cities we've been in. Mar-a-Lago today with West Palm Beach Marriott, San Diego, SoFi Mastermind in Los Angeles. We have Charlotte, North Carolina, the Aspire Tour. Then we have Santa Clara for the Super Bowl, San Francisco. Then we have Pebble Beach in Monterey, the Pro-Am. We did 209 cities last year. Let's see if we can break that record. You and I, we really appreciate it. Nick, do you have any last takeaways for us today? I know you've been rocking and rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually wanted to take the last 2 minutes to ask you a quick question regarding the past.
Yep.
And that question is how do you take into, as you clear the interference from any meaning that you're giving the past, that also impacts your future or your present? How do you take into account what is any type of energetical or genetical inheritances that could also be giving a subconscious meaning and impacting you in your thought process?
Yeah, so I've developed, and I'm happy to send my book or this guided exercise to everyone, david@dmeltzer.com. There's a process called Cancel, Clear, Connect. And so what I do is anytime I hear, say, think, feel, believe something that's not aligned in my divine direction, I cancel it. If it becomes repetitive, I know it's in my subconscious, so it's reinforced with the 40,000 thoughts that are repetitive in my subconscious, and most of them are negative, unfortunately. So I practice clearing the negativity from my subconscious. And then finally, if I still can't get rid of it, I know it's a genetic or energetic inheritance coded into my DNA, activated by my epigenetic layer of my DNA. So in order to reactivate or deactivate, what I need to do is a process called connect, where I take the energy of something that's bugging me, interfering with me, combine it with that which I love the most, hold that over me, and do that every single day. Sometimes it's taken up to 9 years to shift my energy. But if anybody would like the Cancel, Clear, Connect process to help to heal what Nick is asking, just email me along for the guides, exercises, and my books, david@dmeltzer.com. Reminder, come today at 1:30 p.m., West Palm Beach Marriott. Come tomorrow to San Diego at noon with me and Marshall Falk. Come to SoFi Stadium for the Mastermind. Come to the Super Bowl. Come to the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. We're at all over, everywhere. But most importantly, Nick, please close out Clubhouse. I will close out the webinar. Thank you for joining me on the Friday training for over 28 years, since October 12th, 28 years ago, the relativity of the present. Nick, take it from here. Thank you, everyone. Just a reminder, you can go ahead, pre-order Don't Do Business with Dicks, launching at Super Bowl. Please join our community. We have a Monday group. We'd love to have you. If you want to be informed or invited, you can text me, 949-298-2905. If you don't want to be informed, you don't want to be invited, don't text me at this number. But 949-298-2905 will join our community and allow you to get invited and informed all these cool things that we do. Email me if you need the exercises, guides, books today, the Habit Machine, the Cancel Clear Connect, my book, the guides, exercises from the relativity of the present. But most importantly, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.